should be at the bottom. All right. So we do have a lot of great content to cover today. So if time allows, we'll be open to do a live Q&A at the end. So feel free to submit your questions as we go. We'll do our very best to answer as many as we can. All right. Now, if you think of something after today's session, you can simply reply to the email. You'll be receiving an email with a copy of the broadcast. Or if you're not a part of the program, be sure to reach out to a recruiter. If you are a part of the program, make sure to reach out to your assignee. Now, I do have a quick update. So, we won't be doing our usual visa bulletin today, just because the latest bulletin hasn't been released yet. So, we are sorry that we won't be able to cover that today. Now, however, all of the segments we're going to cover today are designed with one goal in mind, and that is to support you through every stage of your US journey. Our team is here to provide a full circle of support, and you'll see that reflected in every part of today's broadcast. So, let's go ahead and get started. It is time for one of our favorite segments, Employee of the Month. Each month, we recognize one outstanding nurse who's making a difference in their workplace and representing our mission with compassion, dedication, and excellence. To help us celebrate, Presley from our International Employee Supervising team is here to share more about this month's winner and nominees. Presley, take it away.
Hi, Melissa. It's always an honor to be here, especially when we get to celebrate the incredible healthcare professionals in our program who are changing lives across the United States. Every month, we take time to honor international healthcare professionals who are going above and beyond in their roles and living out Healthcare Cell's mission of improving lives and making healthcare work better. Before we reveal November's winners, let's take a moment to recognize all our outstanding nominees. Please join me in congratulating Beverly Ann, Doris Lilybell, Evelyn, Katharina, Leah, Nasli, and Rorel Joseph. Congratulations to all of our November employee nominees. Each of you was nominated for your incredible dedication, professionalism, and the heart you bring to your work. We're so proud of all that you're doing in your communities. And now, can I get a drum roll, please? I am thrilled to announce that our November Employees of the Month are Nasli and Evelyn. Congratulations to you both. Now let's take a few moments to shine a light on what makes each of these nurses so special. Let's start with Nasli. Nasli is a skilled ICU nurse demonstrating unwavering compassion, calm under pressure, and clinical experience in every shift. Her colleagues and patients alike feel the impact of her care, not just physically, but emotionally. One unforgettable moment shared by her manager highlights Nasli's remarkable approach. During a critical situation in the ICU, a patient's condition rapidly declined. While managing the clinical urgency, Nasli also comforted the patient's family with empathy and grace, explaining each step, holding the patient's hand, and bringing a sense of peace to an otherwise distressing moment. A peer who witnessed it said Nasli was patient, she was caring and calm. I was inspired by watching her. She chose Healthcare Cell for its long-standing experience with international nurses and the flexibility to match her with a role in her desired state. Now she's thriving in her assignment and making a lasting difference in her new community. We asked what this award means to her. Nasli shared, Winning employee I can come from another part of the world and integrate in the US and provide high-level managing care to members of my community. This award will demonstrate to my children what is possible when you work hard and give your best. Now, what's her favorite American food? Anything Tex-Mex, from breakfast burrito to fajitas and wraps. Congratulations again, Nasli. Now let's talk about Evelyn, a long-term care nurse who brings both clinical excellence and heartfelt compassion to her work. Evelyn has quickly become a valued member of her facilities as having a calm and pleasant demeanor. Evelyn consistently treats residents and their families with respect, dignity, and empathy. She communicates clearly with physicians, families, and staff, and has shown a strong ability to adapt and learn, mastering the routines of all residents under her care. Her deep knowledge, steady presence, and genuine compassion have made her a standout among her peers. Evelyn credits her success in part to the support she received from Healthcare South. From day one, she says the communication and consistency made her feel secure. They have been very patient and understanding that made me feel secure as a candidate. Since arriving in the U.S., Evelyn has embraced professional growth through courage and initiative, taking on new tasks head first and building confidence every step of the way. She also shares that living and working in a new culture has broadened her perspective and even given her more holidays to enjoy. When asked what this award means to her, Evelyn responded with humility and gratitude, saying, "Everything I accomplish every day is because of the collective effort of all staff that work day in and day out to serve the aging community. And as a long-term care nurse, I am proud to say that what I do is kingdom work, and I give all the glory and honor to Jesus Christ." Her favorite American comfort food? Macaroni and cheese. Congratulations, Evelyn. Thank you for the love and leadership you bring to your facility and to Healthcare Cell family. Congratulations again to Nasli and Evelyn. We are so proud to have both of you as part of the Healthcare Cell family, and we know your impact is only just the beginning. Now back to you, Melissa.
Thank you, Presley. Thank you so much for introducing our two winners, Employee of the Month. Unfortunately, so Nasli and Evelyn couldn't be with us today. We're inspired by everything they've accomplished and the strength and heart that you all bring to your work. We're proud to have them as part of the Health Carousel family, and we know their impact is only just the beginning. I also want to share something with you all. We now publish blogs that feature our Employee of the Month nominees and winners. It's another way to celebrate their stories, highlight their journeys, and inspire other healthcare professionals preparing for their move to the United States. Be sure to check those out after today's broadcast to read more about our amazing honorees. Welcome to our Life in the USA segment, where we talk about what life looks like outside the hospital and help you prepare for your next chapter in the United States. As you plan for your new life in the US, one thing you can start looking forward to is the way Americans celebrate holidays throughout the year. These moments, big and small, are opportunities to bond with your coworkers, get to know your community, and feel a deeper connection to the place you'll soon call home. Joining me today to go over all things holidays is Heidi, one of our international development advocates. Hi, Heidi.
Hi, thanks, Melissa. I'm really excited to be here, and I think you're doing great. I love to hear all the things that you're saying, and I'm excited to chime in. Today, we're just going to walk through some of the most widely recognized holidays in the U.S. We're going to start with the official federal holidays, and then we'll move
Okay.
into other popular, just cultural celebrations that may vary depending on where you live.
Okay. Well, before we dive into today's topic, let's hear from our healthcare professionals. Now, we do have a poll up, as you may see. It says, "What U.S. holiday are you most excited to experience for the first time?" Put your votes in. What U.S. holiday are you most excited to experience for the first time? Heidi, do you have any favorite holidays?
I really like Halloween. I like all the decorations. I also love Christmas because that typically means we get to see the snow. Looks really pretty.
I mean, yes, the first day of snow is very pretty. Following that, not so much.
I have to agree. It looks pretty.
It is beautiful. And we are supposed to expect some snow tomorrow, I believe, like 2 inches.
Yes, you're right.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to make some snowmen in the snow. I know that I made it. My first time here in the US when I experienced the snow, I made a snowman and a snowball.
Oh, that must have been super exciting too.
It was delightful. But I definitely do like the Christmas holidays. I love the New Year as well. It's like a great way to start fresh, it feels. And just, going, spending time with family because November, December, January are typically all family type holidays. And I love that.
I agree. I think that's why a lot of people agree or would agree too, just to enjoy the holidays with all of your family.
Yes, ma'am. Now, as I'm looking at the votes here, I am seeing that most people are looking forward to Thanksgiving.
It must be the
We
food.
got You might be right. You might be onto something. All right. Well, thank you everyone for chiming in. Take it away, Heidi. Tell us about the holidays.
Awesome. Thank you again. I'm excited to talk about the federal holidays first. In the US, there are 11 federal holidays. So that means that government offices and many employers, including hospitals, do recognize these holidays with special schedules or observances. However, luckily for you, holidays are open 24/7, including on holidays, or hospitals are open on 24/7 on holidays. If you are scheduled to work, you may still have a shift, even on a holiday. So make sure that you are checking with your facility or your manager just to understand your holiday schedule. So now we can start with the federal holidays you'll hear most about. One is going to be New Year's Day. That's going to be on January 1st. This is the first day of the calendar year, and it's typically celebrated with fireworks, countdowns, or often a quiet day of rest for some people. You'll usually stay up late on December 31st just to welcome in the new year at midnight with your friends or your family, or maybe your new coworkers. On your screen, you should now see some photos of our HCPs that are welcoming in the new year with their families or their coworkers again, just as they celebrate a fresh beginning, like Melissa said she enjoys too. Next, we have Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's the third Monday in January. This honors the legacy of Dr. King and just the American civil rights movement. Some organizations may host events, volunteer opportunities, or have educational programs. While it's not usually associated with big gatherings, it is still a very important reflection day for everyone. Next, we have President's Day. This is going to be the third Monday in February. It is originally established to honor George Washington, but now we all recognize just every US president. While generally it's low key, some communities do hold small parades, museum events, or historical activities just to mark the occasion. Next, we have Memorial Day. This is going to be the last Monday in May. It's somber, so a bit sad, but it's meaningful just so we can honor all of our U.S. military personnel who had died while in service. Many people will visit cemeteries, will have parades, or just reflect with their family. It's also considered the start of summer, so some may celebrate as well with cookouts or outdoor events. Next, we have Juneteenth, which is going to be on June 19th. It is now recognized as a federal holiday, and Juneteenth marks the end of slavery in the U.S. It's celebrated typically with festivals, community gatherings, educational events, especially in African American communities. Next, we have Independence Day, or July 4th. This is going to be typically just a joyful and patriotic holiday marking America's independence. Expect fireworks, parades, concerts, or community cookouts. Many people like to wear red, white, and blue just to gather with their family or coworkers to celebrate.
Yes, Heidi, if I could jump in, Independence Day is like one of those big holidays in the middle of the year. The fireworks are to die for, if I could say
Yes,
that.
I agree.
Yeah, they're always like little get-togethers here and there. I mean, even if you don't want to stay home, you can always go out to a park and just watch the fireworks with your community. It's always a
That's very
delight to
true.
see.
Sometimes you don't have to even leave your home. You can just go right in the backyard and you can see them anyways. So that's always fun too.
It is.
Okay, we also have Labor Day. That's going to be the first Monday in September. Labor Day typically recognizes the American labor movement. It is a time to rest for people, with just many people taking road trips, enjoying outdoor meals. Again, another cookout. I think we love those in the US. Or you can attend a local fair. It is also an unofficial end just to the summer season. We also have Veterans Day, which is November 11th, so just past last month. This holiday honors all of our U.S. military veterans. Many communities do have parades or host recognition events. Even hospitals may do internal ceremonies just to honor their staff or maybe even their patients who have served. Next, we have Thanksgiving, which everyone was really excited to talk about. So hopefully everyone's tuned in. It's the fourth Thursday in November. It's a major holiday just focused on gratitude, food, and time with your loved ones. Our healthcare professionals are often invited just to join with their coworkers, maybe at a family dinner or a potluck at work. The traditional meal includes turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, and pie. I don't know about everyone else, but I cannot forget mashed potatoes or even mac and cheese. So we can't forget those, but it's super exciting. And I hope that everyone is still excited once they get to experience it.
It's funny you said mashed potatoes because I was just about to ask you what's your favorite part of the Thanksgiving meal.
I was ready to tell you.
That is so awesome. I do love turkey. So we did like a fusion Thanksgiving with me and my parents. I'm not sure if everyone knows, but I am originally from Jamaica. And so instead of doing a normal like bake or roast turkey, we did curry turkey. So that was a delight to see, and it was really good. It was like a nice Jam US or Jamaican fusion. So I truly enjoyed that and spending time with family. Did you also spend time with family, Heidi?
I did. We have a pretty large family, so we had taken up the entire basement, and everyone had a lot of fun. I made a pecan pie for the first time from scratch, so that was a lot of fun too.
That sounds delightful. Well, now we know you're great at that, so I expect to see that in office.
Awesome. I'll have to do it for you, just for you, one pie.
Nice.
We now have Christmas Day, which is coming up soon. It's on December 25th. It's going to be a widely celebrated holiday with both religious and cultural elements. Homes, hospitals, and streets are decorated with lights and trees. Gifts are typically exchanged, and holiday music fills the season. So on your screen, you should see some just pictures of our HCPs that are pretty heartwarming with their families, enjoying decorations or festive gatherings for the first time, or just the spirit of giving. Homes, hospitals, and streets are decorated with lights. Super beautiful. I don't know about everyone else, but I love to just drive through and look at them. I love that everyone decorates their houses differently. I personally have a tiny house that is perfect to transform into a gingerbread home. So we do that every winter now. So it's lots of fun.
That sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I I do love the Christmas lights, everyone going through. And I also love like when the communities kind of get together. So like as you just drive through the neighborhood and you're like, ooh,
Yeah, there
just
are.
going
They're
through and
really
enjoying that.
pretty. So many different things you can do too. I love to see the lights that look like the icicles. Do you know what I'm talking
Oh
about?
yes,
I love
yes.
those ones. So pretty.
They are pretty. I also believe, so I believe downtown Cincinnati, they open like the skating rink as well. Have you been down
Yes,
there?
I have not been down there yet, but I know that they just moved it as well, I think.
Oh, really? Well, I'll have to go check it out. I've never done ice skating, but I feel like this would be the nice time to do so, especially with family.
Time to try. Do something before the new year is up.
I agree, I agree. All right, what other great holiday do you have for us?
Yeah, so we covered all of the federal holidays. So now we'll take a look at just the widely celebrated cultural or seasonal holidays. These are not official days off, but you'll still see them celebrated in neighborhoods, schools, or hospitals, or communities just across the country. We'll start with Easter. This can vary. It is either in March or April, but it is a religious holiday for Christians, but also a family event with egg hunts, just special meals. Again, we love a good meal, spring themed activities as well. Some hospitals may even host an egg hunt for the staff or families or local communities. So on your screen now, you can also see pictures of our HCPs just joining workplace egg hunts. I talked briefly about Halloween being one of my favorites, but Halloween is on October 31st. So it is a fun and creative celebration just for kids and also adults, because I know there are many adults here at Health Carousel that also enjoy dressing up for Halloween, but you'll dress in a costume and go trick-or-treating. Hospitals and clinics are sometimes hosting themed days, which you can dress up at work. On your screen, you should also see some of our HCPs that were able to dress up and participate in their themed days at work. Usually the decorations can include pumpkins or some ghosts, some spooky themes, might be lighthearted, some might be a bit more scary, but I think it's a lot of fun.
I think Halloween has become popular outside of the United States too. So if they celebrate it outside the country, they'll probably enjoy it when they do join us here in the US.
Well, great. I love. Some cultural celebrations that you may also experience are going to be just across the US, especially in more diverse cities. You can also see celebrations of Diwali, Eid, Lunar New Year, and Kwanzaa. These are not federal holidays that we were just talking about, but they are still meaningful to many Americans and often bring people together just across the cultures. Even learning just about these traditions is a great way for you as an HCP to build your community in your new home. Whether you are lighting sparklers on the 4th of July or enjoying a holiday potluck with your coworkers, the US holidays are more than dates on a calendar. We are considering them as invitations to just connect or celebrate and create new traditions in your new home, again, but also at your facility and with your coworkers and hopefully your family as well. Just a couple main things that I want to talk about too with our holidays is that, again, the US holidays are cultural moments and they really bring people together. You do not have to celebrate everything, but knowing what to expect can sometimes just help you feel prepared just to celebrate with them if you chose to, make you feel included and also feel welcome to celebrate with your coworkers. These holidays also offer chances to, again, create community and a connection with everyone around you. So whether it's decorating with your coworkers, attending a local event, or sharing a meal, many of our nurses say that these celebrations have really helped them to feel at home. which can be very important, especially for just arriving in the US and trying all of these new things. I think that's very helpful. But you can also bring in your own traditions too. The US communities are always increasingly multicultural, so there is always plenty of space for you to share your heritage and also just enjoy sharing that with other people while you're learning about other holidays.
Awesome, Heidi. Thank you so much for sharing with us all things holidays and exploring the different holidays that we have here in the US. We hope this gave our healthcare professionals a glimpse of what they have to look forward to as they prepare for their life in the United States. So, no matter, like Heidi said, no matter what you celebrate, we're here to help you feel supported, included, and ready to build meaningful moments along the way. Thank you so much, Heidi.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, guys. I can't wait to hear what holidays you enjoyed celebrating.
Love that. All right, let's move into our English tip of the month. This is where we focus on practical communication strategies to help you feel more confident speaking English in both the clinical and everyday settings. We're joined by our language proficiency program manager, Lauren, who works closely with the international nurses to improve spoken English and prepare for real world communication in the US. Well, hi, Lauren. How are you?
I'm great, Melissa. How are you doing?
I am doing well. As I was telling, our healthcare professionals earlier, it's a little bit chilly here. So trying to make sure I keep everyone engaged while I'm losing my voice slowly.
Oh, you take it easy. I'm glad to be back with another helpful English tip. This is our first broadcast together, which is very exciting. And for this month's English tip, we're focusing on something so many international nurses struggle with. Asking someone to repeat themselves without feeling embarrassed or feeling awkward that you have to ask for that repetition. Fast English happens everywhere in US healthcare, during handoffs, in hallways, in patient rooms, from doctor to nurse, from nurse to patient. You'll be hearing fast English all the time. And it's completely normal to miss something in the midst of that, especially in a hectic work environment. So today, I'll be showing you 3 simple, confident ways to ask for repetition without apologizing or doubting your own ability to communicate effectively in English. We'll go over today how to clarify without apologizing, how to implement clear language for the sake of patient safety, and how to emphasize confidence within your speech as opposed to trying to sound perfect.
I love that, Lauren. And honestly, if I could say so myself, even though I am a native English speaker, these things aren't like natural for you. It's something that you definitely have to practice. So I really want our healthcare professionals, sorry, see? I wanted our healthcare professionals to know that even native English speakers sometimes do need the practice and the help. And so we're here to guide you. We're here to learn as well. So I'm looking forward to these tips, Lauren. I'll probably learn something too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I all the time have to ask someone to repeat themselves, especially, I even think to especially like at an airport or like really busy places, or you just like run that by me one more time. And so, yeah, definitely. All right. So our first tip today is to use clear, confident repeat requests. So instead of starting off with something like, sorry, my English isn't good, or sorry, my accent is thick, or anything like that, just try saying, could you say that one more time for me? This keeps your tone professional, confident, and focused on patient safety instead of blaming yourself for doing something wrong, which you definitely didn't do. A lot of nurses think that they have to apologize at first, and you don't. Asking for repetition is a normal part of clinical communication on a daily basis. The second tip is to confirm what you heard. So instead of responding with something like, what? Or, huh? Try saying, just to confirm, you said the labs are ready now, or just so I make sure I hear you correctly, this patient needs this medication, that kind of thing. This not only helps you double check, it shows that you're actively listening and ensures safe, accurate patient care. And this process, this three-step process of one healthcare professional sharing information, the other healthcare professional asking for confirmation of that information, and then that original healthcare professional confirming or clarifying that information is actually a constant best practice in US healthcare called closed loop communication, something that is featured in most American high stakes industries such as aviation, law enforcement. But that process is very encouraged and definitely will make it easier to be able to understand your colleagues. And our third tip is to slow the conversation down. If someone speaks quickly, then it's completely fine to say, could you say that a little slower? Or could you slow down just a little bit so I could catch that? This is polite, it's professional, and it helps prevent mistakes, especially during busy shifts when there's a lot of information going on at once. You never have to guess what someone said. You might feel that at first, but definitely reach out for clarification. Slowing things down is a part of keeping patients safe. And it's always best to just ask someone to slow down so you can hear what they said fully. So to recap, here are the 3 ways to ask for repetition without feeling embarrassed or awkward. Use clear, confident repeat requests, confirm what you heard, and ask for slower speech when needed. Remember, needing repetition has nothing to do with your English level. It happens to everyone in healthcare, really everyone ever. So thank you so much for joining this month's English tip. Keep practicing these phrases and you'll feel more confident and more in control of your English every day.
Thank you, Lauren. I also wanted to touch on the ask for slower speech. No, the US is a melting pot of different cultures, and those that were born here also have, based on the region that they're in, have different accents. And so being aware that, hey, it is not you, like you said earlier, it might just be a difference in how a word is pronounced. I'm from a English speaking country in the Caribbean, but the language that we learn first is Creole. It has a base of English and a mix of French and Portuguese and so on. And then sometimes we hear that our connotations or cadence sounds more Irish. So if I don't slow my words down when I'm in the US, it will be hard for them to understand me sometimes. And it's totally okay. It's just a difference in the culture. It's different. Some people just speak really fast. So just remember, just wanted to share that. Just remember, it is not you. It's just the situation, and it is okay, as Lauren said, to ask to confirm what you've heard, and of course, just to use clear requests. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
All right, so these short monthly tips are just such a great way to strengthen your communication skills. So whether you're preparing for a test, speaking with a patient, or just getting more comfortable with everyday conversations, and of course we will be back next month with another tip. So keep practicing and stay curious. Nursing Careers Week 2025 may be over, but the inspiration is just beginning. Over 16,000 nurses joined us from around the world. And now all 22 sessions are available on demand at nursingcareersweek.com. You can see it on your screen, nursingcareersweek.com. So if you missed anything or just want to revisit a favorite moment, now is your chance. And one session you don't want to miss is Lessons Learned, what I wish I knew before becoming a nurse in the US. In this powerful conversation, internationally educated nurses share what it's really like to transition into nursing in the US. From navigating new technology to adjusting culturally to staying connected with loved ones back home. It's honest, it's practical, and it's full of kind advice you wish you had on day one. Watch it now at nursingcareersweek.com and take the next steps in your journey, informed and empowered. It's time for our Nursing in the USA segment, where we provide you with insight into what it's really like to work as a nurse in the United States and how Health Carousel supports you through every stage of your journey. Today, we're talking about something that impacts all of us, how to use social media responsibly as a healthcare professional and how it connects to US privacy laws like HIPAA. That's HIPAA. To help guide you through this important topic, we're joined by two members of our clinical and quality teams. Ashton and Ryan from our clinical support team will guide you through this important topic. Take it away.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Ryan. I am one of the quality improvement nurses here at Health Carousel, and I'm joined by my colleague, Ashton.
Hello, everybody.
And so today we wanted to just take a few minutes to talk to everyone about HIPAA and privacy protection policies that apply to U.S. healthcare and the use of social media. So today's goals, right, the objectives for today are to describe HIPAA, the privacy rules and regulations that go with it, identify patients' rights and your role as the healthcare professional in protecting them, discuss healthcare professionals' responsibilities as it pertains to HIPAA, and then explain the penalties for noncompliance when it comes to adhering to the HIPAA rules and regulations. And so patient privacy is not just a policy, it's a shared responsibility for all healthcare professionals, and we must respect every patient's right to privacy. And so it's important to know your facility's policies as it pertains to this, but then also the national regulations related to HIPAA and sensitive patient information. And so I'm going to kick it over to Ashton, who has some key definitions and things to review first.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. And so some definitions that you'll hear today during this review is what is HIPAA, right? So it actually stands for Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. So that was created in 1996 and is a federal law here in the US. So it protects patients' health information. So it limits how we use and share patient information, gives patients more control over their information, protects the integrity, availability, and confidentiality of patient information, and just overall defines violation penalties. And so the next definition that you'll probably hear today is patient confidentiality. So patient confidentiality is the legal and ethical obligation of healthcare providers to keep a patient's personal health information private and secure. And so in that definition, you heard patient or personal health information, right? So PHI, protected health information. Any identifiable health data is considered PHI. And so these definitions are from the foundation of HIPAA compliance. So definitely words and definitions to know before getting here to the US. And so Ryan, what is HIPAA and what does it protect?
So HIPAA, is really important, right? It is a, like I said, nationally recognize, set of boundaries, right? It's there to ensure patient safety, and so it helps to protect the individually identifiable health information of patients, right? It applies to written, verbal, electronic forms, and it provides special protections for HIV patients, substance abuse patients, as well as any of those psychotherapy notes that are included. Additional examples of protected information include names, addresses, relatives' names, social security numbers, medical record numbers, emails, IP addresses, really any patient information that is found within their chart, right? If it's in the chart, it's protected information under the HIPAA rules. And so HIPAA also grants patients the right to be provided with a notice of privacy practices that describes how their information is used and how it is shared. It also, allows them to review and obtain copies of their personal medical and financial records, submit requests for corrections to their private information if information is incorrect, and then finally it allows the patients to be notified if their information has been involved in a breach of security or confidentiality.
Yeah.
And so,
And
no, go
oh,
ahead.
sorry. No, I was just going to say it reminds me of like on the patient side of things. So, like every year when I get my physical, I also always sign that notice of privacy practices at the doctor's office, right? Because as the patient, that's our way of acknowledging the control that we have. And so it's kind of on both sides of things, the healthcare provider side and the knowledge of HIPAA, but also on the patient side as well.
No, it's a great point. It is every patient is made aware of their rights, but also the rules and everything related to HIPAA, pretty much in any encounter in healthcare. So, how can you, I guess, Ashen, kind of talking on the confidential side, how can you determine if it's confidential information?
Right. So great question. And so honestly, the easiest thing to do is kind of think about, did I learn this through caring for a patient? If the answer is yes, then it's confidential and you should only share that with those who need that information. So it's a need to know basis. This applies to coworkers and family members. Those records should never be accessed without authorization from that patient. And so again, asking yourself, did I learn this information through caring for a patient? Only share information with those that is a need to know basis, right? So with other faculty or staff that needs the information to do their job. And so avoiding accessing patient records unless you need to, right? So say you are, your coworker is having a really tough shift because of a patient and they are kind of venting to you. That's not necessary for you to go in their chart and learn more about the patient, right? Because you're not caring for that patient. It has nothing to do with your job, right? So no need to go into that patient's chart. You are also not allowed to look at your own patient chart. You are not allowed to look at other coworkers' charts, family members, friends, again, strictly only go in charts of patients you have direct care over. That's what's important to remember.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean it's super easy to encounter situations where you may want to know something, but you need to ask yourself, is it need to know, right? Is it something that is my responsibility as a healthcare professional to know or to act on?
Exactly.
Then it is confidential and you should not be accessing that information.
Yeah. It's only natural to be curious, right? But you got to lock in that curiosity and remember, you are a professional and these patients are trusting you with very personal information. So you need to take that seriously.
Yeah, so again, those responsibilities of healthcare professionals, right, apply to a lot of different environments, right? There are different things to keep in mind, depending on where you're practicing or, whether you're in the patient's room, nurse's station. And so, kind of just kicking it off there, right? Some good things to keep in mind that you can ensure that you do on your end as a healthcare professional, right, are, ensuring that, you're closing the door after entering the room, if that's, okay with the patient. If there are, things that need to be discussed, or information being passed between you and the patient that may be that they are uncomfortable with other people knowing or hearing. Ask visitors to leave the room unless the patient requests for them to stay, right? Obtaining that patient consent for visitors, family members, friends, whoever may be in the room with you to hear those conversations. Speak softly if they have a roommate. Some patient care environments maybe only have patients separated by a curtain. They may be sharing a room. It could be two patients in a room together. So it's important to be mindful and kind of demonstrate that courtesy to your patients when having conversations. And then don't leave your documentation, right? If you're carrying care plans around with you, charts, imaging, don't leave them unattended and laying in clear view.
Yep, absolutely. And so, in addition to the patient's room, you'll also be around the nursing station, right? And so in this specific area, again, you don't want to leave patient information, flow sheets, charts, sticky notes, little notes to yourself or reminders, lab reports, anything like that. Again, face up, easily viewable. You want to make sure that you put those back where they belong or you shred them, right? So typically on all units, there is a specific kind of, I guess we can call it a trash can, but it's specific for PHI that an outside company will come pick up those documents and actually shred it like a massive shredder for the entire hospital. So make sure that you're not just throwing it in the normal garbage can because those things do need to be shredded and disposed of properly. Again, speak softly, right? The nursing station is a very public area on the unit. And so you do want to discuss patient care in, a soft tone, right? And so again, if it's best to use a private area, but especially if that's kind of where the phones are located and you're trying to talk to a provider or a doctor to get orders, again, just don't yell about it. Don't raise your voice. And again, just don't have your personal phones out. I know a lot of times maybe, we see something interesting that we want to remember, right? Maybe we want to take a picture of it or a video or want to, just honestly, just take a cute selfie with your coworkers, right? The last thing you want to do is have patient information in the background, right? Whether that be a chart that's open on the computer, even a patient walking by, family members walking by, right? We can't have that. You can't risk it. And so it's best to keep your phone in the locker room, in the break room, wherever the team keeps their, personal belongings. Just don't even have it out on the unit just to be safe.
No, that's a great point. I think it's a great segues, really into some of the other environments and things to keep in mind to ensure that patient confidentiality remains intact. And computer screens, right? It goes away from just the physical documents of care, right? I know you mentioned the shredder before, and that doesn't apply to electronics. So it's good to keep those things in mind. And so much of the care that we do is done through either computers. They even have mobile charting devices now. So a lot of hospitals will have their own phones for nurses to carry and communicate with one another, take pictures to put into charts, right? So it's important to always just ensure that you're keeping the confidentiality aspect in mind when using those devices also, right? So have the screen facing away from public view, right? So it's not visible, to patients, to visitors, unauthorized people around the hospital environment, right? Always ensure you're logging out of any of those charts or devices when you're not using them, so nobody has access and access under your account. Change your passwords frequently. A lot of facilities will have their password policies implemented, and reminders will come out from their IT teams, but keep those passwords changed and updated. And then finally, right, don't share your login information, right? You should never log in to somebody else's charting account, right? You should never allow anybody to utilize or access your charting account, right? Always ensure that you're not sharing that information with any colleagues or peers. You're responsible for what is done under your login.
Yeah,
so
super important.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about like emails, because I know that those get utilized a lot for work emails within the hospital.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And so, the emails are typically used obviously from communication from the hospital system, from your manager or other leaders. And so you always want to use protected, encrypted emails, which all facilities do have. So when you are working in the hospital, you should get a specific hospital email, right? And so that's the email that you would want to use if you do need to send emails related to work. Never use the PHI in email attachments or in the email itself, just because emails can easily be sent to the wrong person, right? Totally innocent mistake, but it does happen. And then emails, do not ensure privacy of information that is transmitted, right? So technology is a blessing and a curse at the same time. So it definitely, you just be cautious and aware of what you're sending. And so in relation to email, Rye, let's talk about other technology and social media.
Yeah, I mean, talk about hitting the segues, right? And so talk about another blessing and a curse as well, right? The social media and technology, right, in today's day and age. You mentioned it before, personal phones, tablets. It's easy just to have them on you, have that just newfound desire to just snap a selfie, post a TikTok video. It's extremely important to avoid that. Really, a lot of facilities will have you sign their handbook policy, which will include the use of personal electronic devices in the workplace. So that's always just an area that I just advise all the nurses I talk to avoid. Right? It's just easiest to put that phone somewhere in a break area in the locker room where you won't have that temptation. You won't feel the messages coming through in your pocket, and you won't, take that step too far. A lot of times nurses do it and they don't even realize it. And use of, just posting, videos to social media, photos. So it's important that we, avoid that so that you don't post private information or discuss patients on those web-based platforms. And that even then carries outside of work as well, right? When you go home, you may, kind of have that instinct to, post a recap onto social media or talk about your day or, vent. And so it's extremely important that you're aware and just understand that you're responsible for those things that you put out onto social media. And we would never want you to get into a situation where the HIPAA rules are violated in those web-based chat rooms and social media such as TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or any of those other ones that I'm unfamiliar with. But it's just extremely extremely important to protect that information. And so we reflect a lot on selfies because I've seen it with people I've worked with. I've seen it with nurses that we've worked with where they take a selfie at work, right? And they thought that it was okay, it's harmless, but maybe in the background there was, a chart. It could be the bed board, right, with the bed assignments. That includes patient names, patient information. You never know what's in the background potentially if you're trying to take one of those photos. And so it's just extremely important to avoid the social media mixing with the work life. But I didn't know if you had anything additional you wanted to kind of tack on there, because I know that's a big part of this conversation as well, and is continuing to grow into a bigger focus and topic when it comes to HIPAA policy and procedure.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to add was, and with our nurses being away from home, right? A lot of times they're away from their countries and they want to, sometimes the only time you guys have conversations with those at home is during your shift, right? And so sometimes we get the urge to, video chat. Very similar in terms of, the selfies. You, one, shouldn't be video chatting, at work during your shift unless you're on break, right? So you shouldn't even be on the unit. You should be in the break room, something like that. But just again, be very, very aware of what is in the background, and remain professional. And so I think that's why we keep referring back to like just keep the phone in the break room, right? There's really no necessary need to have your phone on you when you're on the unit working, right? The hospital provides everything that you should need. And so your phone should be kept, in a private area where you can refer to it on your breaks. And so, I know you kind of alluded a little bit to it, Rye, about, when they go home, right? And so even after you're not on shift, right? You are going home, you stopped at maybe the grocery store on the way home, right? You just never, maybe you're talking on the phone with a nurse you worked with. You never want to mention the patient's private information in public, right? People are walking by, watching you, just listening, minding their own business, but they overhear, right? And so you just never know who's going to be walking by. They could potentially even know that person you're talking about, right? You don't know. And so just, again, never carry, the PHI documents, anything from the hospital home with you. And so again, like the shredders we talked about, make sure you are not taking anything related to a patient home with you. There's no need, right? And so just make sure you are doing the best you can to keep that private information private. And so, as we wrap up here today, here are those key takeaways, right? Of all the things we've talked about, just remember these, and then you should be good to go. So always treat a patient information as confidential, right? Only access or share if that's part of the job you need to do. Posting about work or patients on social media can violate HIPAA and put your career at risk. So HIPAA violations can lead to termination, fines, or loss of your nursing license or other forms of, reprimand based on the Board of Nursing's kind of decisions on that investigation. So again, super crucial thing to be aware of and to follow. It is conversations that Ryan and I don't enjoy having with our nurses when we have to, but again, it's completely in your control, right? So again, be aware of what you're doing, what you're seeing, and do the best you can to, again, keep your patient's information private, because I know as a patient, I would want that. So you should be giving your patients the same courtesy. Anything you wanted to add, Rye?
No, those, the last one, right? You've worked so hard to get to where you are in your career. Taking on that responsibility to care for patients is huge in itself. But, this is something that unfortunately I've seen multiple nurses trip up on. And it is unfortunate when it occurs. So again, if you take anything away, right, it's a big responsibility to care for patients, for them to be vulnerable and allow access into their lives. And so take that and kind of carry that weight on your shoulders, right, as the nurse. Respect them and protect your license at the end of the day, right? It is something that is taken very serious by every board of nursing. And unfortunately, those trips that can, I've seen can, ultimately lead to, action being taken against that license you worked so hard to keep and maintain.
Absolutely. Yeah. It just, why risk it, right? Do the best you can to keep that information private, and you should be all good, you know?
All good.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us today for this segment, and we'll hand it back over to the team.
All right. Thank you so much, Ashton and Ryan, for breaking that down for us. We know that social media can be a great tool, but like you said, it comes with real responsibilities in the healthcare setting. So, and for our healthcare professionals, our clinical support team is here to provide you with a full circle of support. So, not just clinically, but professionally. So, you feel empowered to protect patient privacy and your own career at the same time. All right, now it's time for one of our favorite segments, our featured location. We know that many of you are from different parts of the world preparing for your move to the US, and one of the biggest questions on your mind might be, where will I live? And what's life like outside of work? And so this month we are spotlighting Illinois, a state that offers both vibrant city experiences and the peaceful charm of rural suburban communities. Before we dive into the details of Illinois, it's important to know that job orders open and close regularly. So while we're highlighting Illinois to help you envision life there, this doesn't mean there are current opens in the state. Our goal is to give you the knowledge and confidence to make informed decisions. So when the right opportunity becomes available, you're ready. So to walk us through everything that makes Illinois a special place to live and work, I'm excited to introduce Gretchen, our from our account management team. Gretchen, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Melissa. You're doing a great job.
Oh, I'm grateful for that. Thank you. All right. Well, I wanted to touch on something too. When I saw like Illinois on my screen, it reminds me of sometimes our healthcare professionals might call it Illinois or pronounce it a totally different way. And it brings me back to my own exposure to like Illinois or other states that are kind of hard to call, like Massachusetts or something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I still know people that call it Illinois and they pronounce that S. So take it as you will, pronounce it as you will. I call it Illinois with the S being silent, but as long as we're all talking about the same state, we're good.
We're good. All right. Well, go ahead and take it away, Gretchen.
Thanks, Melissa. Yeah. So first thing we want to talk about when we're talking about the state is, of course, the weather. Melissa already mentioned here in Cincinnati, we're getting hit with snowfall, and Illinois, sitting right on the lake, they can also get hit with snowfall as well. They get to experience all 4 seasons. So we've got here on the screen winter. Typically, it runs between December to February, and you could see temperatures ranging anywhere from minus 9 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius, which is 15 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. You'll see as well on the screen is the Quincy Memorial Bridge. It stretches over the Missouri River. It's a peaceful reminder of how quiet and calm the Midwest can feel, even during the frigid winters. You can gather indoors with your family. You can enjoy the holiday traditions, kind of like we talked about earlier with Christmas and New Year's coming up, and you can make the best of the cozy nights at home. So even though it may not look good outside, there's still opportunities to do fun things.
That's so true, Gretchen. If I could interject for a bit, I just remember, just talking about the temperature. I remember I went there in November of 2023, I believe. It didn't snow at all in Cincinnati, and so I didn't prepare for the winter for Chicago. So I went to Illinois, and I was like, so I went there. It was chilly. I had my coat, but in the middle of just walking across the, beside the river, the snow came down. I'm like, there was no snow in the forecast. What is going on? But it's really beautiful though when snow falls and you're taking in the river right there. But the wind does get a little bit much sometimes.
Absolutely. It can catch you out of nowhere. But again, don't be afraid of the wintertime. Don't be afraid of those elements. We'll help you come prepared in terms of what to wear for clothing. So getting a nice warm jacket, getting hat, gloves, boots, and everything. So if you do want to go outside and experience some of those things like the Christmas markets or the holiday markets, or go downtown, kind of like you were talking earlier with Heidi, and go skating, there's still fun things to do outside. And as long as you're dressed for the elements, you'll be nice and warm.
Love that. I agree. Hmm.
All right. So as we come out of the wintertime, we got the loveliness of spring here. So again, talking about temperatures, we'll start Celsius, but we'll also include Fahrenheit as well. Temperatures can range anywhere from 5 degrees to 20 degrees Celsius, which is about 40 to high 60s Fahrenheit. You can start to get outside, walk, bike, enjoy the refreshing air. Another must-see destination, as you'll see here on the screen here, is Starved Rock State Park. It's a great recreation opportunity to get outside. It's known for its waterfalls, its forest hikes, and incredible views. It's only a few hours outside the city of Chicago. Summertime. Summertime's my favorite. Summer in Illinois is full of activity. Temperatures can range anywhere from 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, which is high 60s to high 80s Fahrenheit. On the screen here, you'll see the Chicago Botanic Gardens, one of the most stunning summer destinations in the state. Colorful gardens, peaceful lakes, miles of walking paths. It's a favorite spot for families, for nature lovers, and anybody really looking to get outside, enjoy the sunshine, and soak up that vitamin D.
Yeah. The summer is like a big contrast for the winter, but like you said, Chicago, well, Illinois, sorry, experiences all the seasons. And like you said, summer is also one of those good times to really experience Illinois. You can head over to Springfield, where Abraham Lincoln is from. It's a nice, cool town, but the vibes is good. It's a good community. Or head over to Chicago for a taste of Chicago, where you can sample food that were created in Chicago. I mean, that Chicago pizza is a good one as well. But yeah, it's a big contrast between winter and summer, but you get to experience what makes America America.
Exactly. Perfect. Last but not least, you've made it through winter, spring, summer. Now we've got fall. So again, fall can be breathtaking. You've got temperatures anywhere between 7 degrees Celsius and 18 degrees Celsius, which in Fahrenheit is 45 to 65. So nice and refreshing. It's crisp out there. Just really need a jacket and you can still stay warm. On the screen here, you'll see the Shawnee National Forest. So again, another great recreation opportunity. Rolling hills and cliffs, all different colors. You've got the reds, the oranges, the yellows as we get into the fall, resembling the leaves. You've got the fall foliage. So again, another great opportunity to get out and about and explore the state. You don't just have to stay in your community. Really get out there, hop in a car, learn what's there in your state to explore. All right. Now we get to really the nitty gritty. How much does it kind of cost? So in terms of life and affordability, it's really not that horrible. Illinois has a cost of living index of about 95, which is 5% below the US average. It's a great balance of affordability and opportunity. So if you take a look here in this table, you can kind of see the price for a number of different things. An average one bedroom, we estimate, could be about $1,250 US a month. Gallon of gas be about $3.70. And again, these numbers may change throughout the seasons. As you get into spring, summer, and fall, when people are traveling more, gas may become a little bit more expensive. So things may always change, but these are about general averages, general ballpark numbers. A carton of milk is about $3.50, eggs $2.80 a dozen, and bread about $3.20 a loaf. Public transportation is convenient and affordable in your larger cities. Illinois is not just the city of Chicago. Most people will know it for Chicago since that's one of the biggest cities. So public transportation is definitely available in that city, whether it be the Metro bus, the L train, but also it's easy to get around, handy to get around if you have your own car for transportation purposes as well. If you're in Chicago or those bigger cities and you do want to take the L or the Metro, you can look at getting monthly transit passes, which can average around $75 a month and allow you to take that as many times as you like throughout the month. And then again, in smaller communities, we recommend it's good to have your own reliable transportation so you can drive around and you can enjoy some of those shorter stressor-free commutes because you have your own car. All right, so lifestyle. What does it kind of look like aside from typical pricing, the weather? We like to think that Illinois offers a strong sense of community and space to help you build your meaningful life as you're coming here to the States and building your new home away from home. Again, you'll hear us mention Chicago a lot because it's one of the big cities, but from the stunning Chicago skyline, which you can see when you get to the lake, it's got vibrant neighborhoods, cultural energy. Then there's also smaller towns. You get that smaller Midwest charm found throughout Southern Illinois. You'll discover welcoming communities across the state, each with their own rhythm and pace. So you can fall in there, again, create your own life, your own home away from home. Again, you've got the affordable living and easy access into nature with plenty of recreation opportunities. It gives you the freedom to focus on what matters most to you and your family, whether that's your family, your faith, rest and relaxation, or you want to take an adventure. Get on out there and explore. Again, it gives you the space to slow down. It's a good blend of everything. Settle in and build that meaningful life. So build that home away from home on your own terms. Whether you're dreaming of the high rises in the city of Chicago or you want the quiet countryside, the smaller towns, living in Illinois offers the flexibility to match your lifestyle. In terms of career growth and support, again, you'll kind of see a common theme here, but it offers a wide range of opportunities in a wide range of healthcare environments, from your major acute care hospitals to your smaller care centers, whether they be clinics, critical access hospitals. It kind of runs the gamut. In places like Galena, like you can see here on the screen, it's known for its supportive communities and its regional healthcare facilities. Nurses have the opportunity to grow and develop their skills in meaningful ways. You also have your major medical centers in urban areas to welcome community hospitals across the state. It's a place where your nursing journey can thrive. Again, you'll be part of a supportive care team wherever you may go, wherever you may get selected and placed. Well, international nurses are valued and respected. And whether you're in a large metro area or in a quieter town, you'll find friendly neighbors, strong care teams, and a slower pace of life that supports both well-being and professional development. All right, so the day-to-day, what's it going to look like? And again, it's going to vary for everybody. You can create it as you see fit, but imagine finishing your shift. You're enjoying a peaceful walk by the river in Peoria here on the screen, or you're spending the weekend, you're exploring Chicago, you're downtown, walking into the different stores, the different museums, or you're just outside in nature. You're taking a nice walk through the forest, taking it all in. It offers the best of both worlds, the bustling city, the peaceful small towns, so you can choose a lifestyle that aligns with your goals, your routine, and your personality.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Gretchen. I feel like you're telling me that I should go visit Chicago, Illinois this weekend.
I don't know about this weekend since we're going to get hit with the snow and they'll probably get more than us, but maybe in the springtime.
That is so true. When was the last time you've been to the state?
Um, It hasn't been recently, but I do have family that lives outside of Chicago. So when I go and visit, we're lucky enough that we can stay with them. And then we just hop on the L train and go into the city, explore, which is nice. We've got that flexibility to kind of do what we want. And then when we want to get out of the city, we just hop on it, come back outside, and then we can go to different restaurants around their area. So it's a cool state, cool city. I work with a lot of partners in Southern Illinois, which is a place that I still want to learn and get to visit. But I'm excited for all the different recreation opportunities. Like a lot of the pictures that we saw, my favorite thing to do is just get outside in the good weather, soak up the sun, and explore.
I agree with you. I feel like their sun, it feels like Caribbean sun to me. So it's like a 5 hour drive from Cincinnati to get over there. And I don't mind driving that 5 hours just to get that sun over in Illinois. But yeah, thank you so much, Gretchen. I believe that this was just like a great information session for healthcare professionals. And for all of you guys watching, you can put it on your list. But we do have more that we'll be sharing as we continue to do our live broadcast. As we said, it's a way to help you to make an informed decision about where you want to live and work here in the United States. Thank you, Gretchen.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so yeah, like I said, it's a truly insightful session and an inspiring look at Illinois from the peaceful trails of Shawnee National Forest to the springtime waterfalls at the Starved Rock, Illinois. Truly has something for everyone. If you're seeking opportunity, community, and a place that feels like home, Illinois might be the perfect fit. All right. Wow, look at that skyline. That's so beautiful. I definitely am gonna put it on my list for travel in spring at Gretchen's recommendation. All right, so we know that navigating your journey to the US can bring a lot of uncertainty. That's why you'll often hear us talk about our full circle of support, because what we offer is more than just a pathway to a job. It's about standing with you, investing in your growth, your family's well-being, and your long-term success here in the United States. Our Chief Clinical Officer, Earl Dalton, has a few words of encouragement to share with you.
Hey everybody, it's Earl Dalton, the Chief Clinical Officer here at Healthcare. And I just wanted a second to come on here and talk about today's sort of current environment, the complexities around immigration, retrogression, those sorts of things. And I know that can lead to confusion and frustration for you all as you think about your journey to the United States. So a couple of things I think I would share with you is, one, the absolute importance of making sure that you have hospital experience as you consider your journey to the United States and working in U.S. hospitals. Patient care in the United States has gotten incredibly complex. The patients are sicker than ever. The acuity level on measure in hospitals has gone way up. And so hospitals are choosing nurses who have a great deal of hospital level experience. That has become incredibly important in the selection that hospitals are making about the nurses that they're working with inside of their doors. So nurses who have lots of experience are certainly getting selected over those who have little to no hospital experience. So please keep that in mind as you think about your journey to the United States. Other things that you can do to make sure that you have a great experience in your journey is, let's make sure you have an engaged philosophy, that you're working with the health carousel staff, getting the things done that need to be done to move you forward in the process, and have a positive attitude. Every bit helps. listen, have a great day. I hope things are going well where you are. We certainly are looking forward to having you arrive here in the United States and be part of your journey. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Earl, for your honest and motivating words. It's a powerful reminder that even when the road feels uncertain, there are still meaningful steps you can take, like building clinical experience, staying connected with your health carousel team, and keeping your long-term goals in focus. So that's exactly why our full circle of support exists to guide you through each stage of this journey and help you stay ready, resilient, and confident for what's ahead. Okay, everyone. Unfortunately, we are at time for today's broadcast. If you submitted a question, don't worry. Your current assignee will be sent your questions and they will reach out to you directly to answer them for you. All right, well, thank you all for joining us today. We'd love to get your feedback on today's broadcast. You will see a survey on the screen. Please take a few moments to complete the survey to provide us with your feedback from today's live broadcast. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, wonderful afternoon, or a wonderful evening wherever you are tuning in from in the world. See you all next time.